Welcome back to 5-Minute Life Hacks. This is your host, Natalia Ambrosia, coming at you from my bedroom in Los Angeles, California. So today's episode is about sleep, my favorite topic as of late, because in the last 2 months, I've gotten the best sleep I've gotten probably ever consistently. I am a terrible sleeper and always have been. And just as of late, as of the last few months, with everything going on, my sleep was even worse. And anytime I was on my period, for example, everything was even more emphasized. If I was irritable, my lack of sleep made it even worse. So it became really a problem. So if you listen to my last episode, I decided to get off Instagram for 5 weeks. And I decided what I was going to do instead was really focus on being disciplined with my work and my sleep. So in this episode, I'm going to talk to you about my experience with lack of sleep and how I've managed to improve it. So everyone has their own journey with sleep. And as I said, I'm a bad sleeper, but that can mean so many different things to so many people. In my case, I have no problem falling asleep. My biggest problem fell in sort of feeling like I had light sleep. I didn't feel like I was rested at all. I didn't feel like I went into deep sleep. And I oftentimes woke up really early, like at sunrise for a variety of different reasons, and just didn't go back to bed. And so I felt like a zombie. And I want to caveat this by saying that there's a ton of things you can read or watch or listen to about sleep, and you should do that. You should find out what works for you. I've read a lot, and I just thought it would be helpful to talk about my particular experience and the things that have worked for me. So, the most important thing I learned on my quest to better sleep was prioritizing sleep. Was so important. This is the very first step. Going to bed and waking up at regular times, putting your screens away an hour before bed, having a bedtime ritual. Those are all things I do and that do help. But the most important thing is that you're going to make that decision to get good sleep, because I always just thought I'm a bad sleeper and I just need to deal with it. But then I realized I can change so many things in my life, so I can change this as well. So the first thing is deciding to prioritize sleep. And so that's what made the biggest difference. Number 2, it was getting a sleep app, because I woke up every day and my wonderful friends got a text from me every day being like, my sleep was sucked today, or my sleep was great. And so instead of just bothering my friends with that, I decided to get a sleeping app and give it a go. And it actually really helps, because a sleeping app tracks, your movements, and they can tell you whether you're in deep sleep or in light sleep. And I think it's pretty accurate. And being able to have that tangible evidence of, did I sleep well? Did I snore? What happened? Kind of made me be able to track and be able to adjust certain things. So the sleep app I use is called Sleep Cycle, but there's a ton out there. Next is a journal. Get a journal. I talked about the inner critic in another episode and how anxiety manifests itself and has a voice, and you can journal this voice and it helps you. So in this same fashion, find a journal and write in your journal before you go to bed and when you wake up. And this sort of helps unload your thoughts, whether it's a list or whether it's just how you're feeling. It sort of helps unload them onto a notebook so that you don't have to take them with you to bed. On the next note, so my biggest issue was waking up at sunrise and just feeling a little bit anxious and not feeling rested enough. And so what I would do then is journal and then try to calm myself. And so my last tip is to give yourself permission to go back to bed if you need that extra sleep. Let's say you wake up before your alarm like I did, or let's just say you've woken up at your alarm and you just feel like you're not rested. My biggest tip is let yourself go back to bed. I personally, a lot of the time would say, it's 6:30, I can't go back to bed. I've tried for half an hour. I'm just going to get up. And then I have a day where I just feel super tired and unfocused. And now, instead of just saying, oh no, I can't go back to bed, my body's not allowing me to, I literally try to give myself permission to go back to bed. I'm not saying put the snooze button on, because that can be harmful as well. Just literally turn off your snooze button, set another alarm, maybe put on eye mask on, put some ocean waves on, and after you write in your journal, and give yourself permission to go to bed for another hour, because that hour will make a difference. Oftentimes my excuse was like, oh, well, if I go to sleep for another hour, I'm going to wake up late and then I'm not going to go on my run and then my day's going to start late. But at what cost? The cost would be that I would be unfocused and feeling tired the whole day. And now that's made me feel so much better, is just getting that extra half an hour to an hour of sleep. So to summarize it, go do your own research about sleep. But what's really helped me is prioritize sleep, have a journal, get a sleep app, and give yourself permission to sleep longer if you need to. Just check in with your body. As always, message me at Natalia Ambrosia on Instagram. I love hearing from you. Get a good restful night's sleep. Bye.